What's up, everybody? What's going on? What's up, Christians RC? How's it going, buddy? We have a nice, rainy, yucky day outside, so it's a good day to maybe work on a couple of the cars here. We're gonna work on a big rock today. I had this thing out yesterday for a awesome bash time at the motocross track, and thing held up great. The new big rock, or the granite tires held up great. I'm running this thing on 4S. However, I did bend at least one of my shock shafts in the back. As you can see, it just stays. You can't say it like that, but it just stays planted up. So, gonna replace the shock shafts on the back of this thing, and also going to be working on the Typhon 6S. I'm taking that thing back to the dirt form. We're going to be putting the stock, well, close to the stock gearing back on it. We're going to go back to the, I think this is a 50, is what this is, a 50-tooth spur. But I'm going to put on the 18-tooth pinion and get dirt tires back on it and all that good stuff, because we have something else coming to the channel here that we're going to be doing some speed runs with. So I'm taking the Typhon back to its original form, and we're going to have some fun with it that way. So I guess we'll get started on the big rock here first. Just kind of getting things together here still. I got to pull out the tires for the Typhon because I don't think I got them out. I kind of forgot. I got to get dirt tires back out again. I'm going to put these door tracks lockups on it. I don't remember if I originally got these for this or if it was for the Typhon 3S, but we're going to put them on the 6S and see how they work out. There's the fourth one. I knew it was around here somewhere. My bins of tires. Really hardly used these things at all yet. They were on the Typhon for maybe one run, and then I had gone and put the track tires on it. So, haven't really got to use these yet. See how they work out. Anyway, I guess we'll start working on this thing. I'm going to get the back shock taken off of this thing. Get this thing fixed up again. Man, this big rock yesterday was just flying. Was running it. I first started running on 3S, but it did not. Unfortunately, I didn't have my 3S battery charged up apparently, because it lasted all of about 5 minutes and then it died. So, luckily, I had my 4S batteries with me and they were charged. So I ran it on that, and this thing just flew. Sorry. Getting weird phone calls. This shock seems okay, but I am going to take it off anyway because I'm going to change out. I got some oil. I'll show you guys what the shock looks like, how badly bent this thing is. I mean, I've definitely seen worse, obviously, but she got a nice little bend to it. So I'm going to be changing out that. And I ordered this, I got these in the other day, a whole variety pack of Veloci shock oil. It goes from 50 to 100 weight. And I think I'm probably going to put, I don't know, either 60 or 70 in the back of this thing. Because I put 60 in the front, and it still had the stock stuff in the back. So I'm probably going to do the 60 weight in the back of this thing and see how I like it. What's going on, RC? For all, how's it going, buddy? Big Al's. How's it going, guys? We're doing a few repairs on the big rock and putting the Typhon 6S back to its natural form. We're going to go ahead and make that thing a dirt car again. So, that's what I'm working on today, and I get to use my fancy new tool to grab a hold of the shock shafts. Finally got to use this thing yesterday, too, for popping the balls out of the end of the shock rods on Trevor's car. I was working on his, and finally got to use the new little tool. Works great, too. What's up, Inspired? Bits and pieces are falling out of here. Kind of an odd time of the day, I know, but it's just kind of worked out good right now as far as trying to get some other stuff done and things going on tonight. So I figured for anybody maybe bored at work or bored at home, or for those of you in the UK, if anybody joins in, it's actually getting into the evening time, so maybe it'll work out good. But yeah, that shock shaft has seen better days. But I got a new pack of them. Picked them up down at my local hobby shop, locally here. Those guys have been great down there, playthings, etc. If any of you guys, like I said, if any of you guys, are local or want to get something shipped in, I was in there yesterday, and they had a ton of cars coming in now. They got the Creighton EXB, the 8S EXB. They got one or two of these big rocks, pretty much all the 3S line. Bit of Traxxas stuff, some Axial stuff. They got the Riffs, all kinds of good stuff they've been getting in down there now. So if anybody's looking for anything, can't find it locally and want to get shipped in, definitely check those guys out. And I'm not being paid by them by any means. It's just they're a great group of people, and like supporting my local hobby shop. Wow, this shock rod is so bent I can't even really get it to collapse and grab a hold of it the normal way. I'm going to have to try and get a hold of it this way. Needle nose pliers, they come in handy for everything. What happened to your RC on, you mean this, the big rock here, Christian? This thing just took a really nasty landing. I don't know if you've seen the short video I put up last night, I think, of this thing down at the motocross track. There's a few little clips of this thing. And this thing was a solid, probably 40, 45 feet in the air. And most of the times it landed pretty decent, but a couple times it did come down heavy on one corner. And this was the result. The shock rod got a little bit spaghettied, so it happens. What's up, guy on a moose? You just snapped your Proline hexes on your T6. Oh, no. I'm homesick. I don't got virus, don't I? Well, not a big deal. I don't think I can catch it through the internet, luckily, so at least not yet, right? I'm going to grab I think this is my old bottle of fluid. I have one of these that I've been kind of dumping old stuff into, and I honestly don't know why. Because I should just throw it out or pour it out. But I've been setting it, every time I change out a shock. Oh, man. I don't know if you guys can see the color of that stuff, but it is nasty. Nasty, nasty. It is, I'm going to let that drain out there for a second. But, that stuff was gross looking, and it wasn't even close to full. I guess some of it has leaked out over time. Big Rock's not that old. At least these new ones, the new versions of shocks on all the Big Rocks and the new versions, the O-rings they've been putting on those at least have been holding up a lot better. They don't leak quite as bad. I don't know how many, whenever I got my Typhon 6S and the Big Rock and stuff, the box inside was soaked from the shock oil leaking before it was even jumped. But these ones have been holding up at least a little bit better, so at least they're making improvements, I guess. The 3S shocks they're kind of, once you destroy them, it's better off to change them out, honestly. And I was going to get a set of these hot racing ones for the back, but they don't have them in stock at the moment. There's none of the 115 or 120 millimeter shocks in stock at the moment. So I kind of just decided to go back to the stock at the moment and keep the stock ones on the back and rebuild them at the moment because I couldn't get a hold of any of these. They're on order, but who knows when those will be released. Everybody knows how the parts game is going right now. You never know when stuff is going to show up. But we'll get this thing unscrewed out of here. At least these things are easy to work on too. They're not too painful to change out. Bring you guys back overhead, I guess. Clicking weird buttons on the computer here. Look at some of you guys. RC, what's up? What's up, RC Crazy? You got a new permanent servo for the Typhon. That's cool. I got a servo here too. I don't know. I think it's a little bit overkill for the car I have coming. It'll be here probably Tuesday or Wednesday. Unfortunately, I have to leave Tuesday for work, and I'll be gone a couple days. But sometime next week, I will be sharing some news. I got a car coming. Decided to get something new. And because, as many of you guys have seen, we have been messing around with the Typhon 6S, trying to get that thing to 100 mile an hour, and it's been definitely giving me some problems. So, did some thinking and decided on something else. So, I don't think I want to give away what I got. Not that it's a gigantic deal or anything, but there is a actual speedrun car on its way. Yeah, I do still have the factory servo in the Big Rock. Amazingly enough, I've heard a lot of people breaking theirs right off the bat. However, even with the abuse that I put this thing through, I have had no issues with my servo yet. So that's been kind of surprising, but yes, it is still a stock one. But every time I've changed them out in any of the 3S or 4S or any of them for that matter, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just being cheap on weird things. But I hate spending, $100 or $150 on a servo. Because I tend to, they're kind of a breakable item. And on a basher, on a race car, obviously I understand it. On a basher, I don't completely get it because no matter what, all of them break. I've tried them. I've gone through the problems. And, I've broken a $20 servo and used it for 6 months, and I bought a $100 servo and it broke in 6 months. So, I don't know. Everybody has their own opinion on that one. What's up, Rocky? How's it going, buddy? I haven't seen you in a while on here. I see you've been breaking fans left and right, buddy. Holy cow. What are you doing to your poor cars? Was that a game changer? What kind of fan was that you broke today? Or maybe yesterday. I seen you had another one in pieces there on Instagram. Wow, that thing exploded too, it looked like. I found the JX. How much are the JXs? That's cool. That's one thing. Game changer, he definitely stands behind his stuff. I'm still trying to figure out how to put or use. Well, actually, you know what? I just answered my own question because the fans that I got recently from Game Changer, these ones, this isn't it. Where did I put them? Never mind. Now I don't know where I have them at. They're somewhere here. But anyway, I have a set of the low-profile Game Changer fans. And I was going to try and put them on the Typhon originally, but any of you guys know the Typhon 6S or either one, you don't have a lot of room under that lid. It's hard to fit much of anything under there. And I was trying to find a way to mount them, but I think actually they're going to work perfect on the new build. So maybe I'll definitely get to use them on there. So I'm going to reserve. I don't know, man. Like I was just saying, I have an issue spending that much money on a servo. I don't know what it is. I know I'll spend too much money on other weird stuff, but servos for some reason, that's just me. I could be probably completely wrong on my thought pattern on this. Probably am, because I've been wrong plenty of other times, but servos, I have an issue for some reason paying a ton of money for. I'm going to put the 60 weight in the back of this thing. Yeah, RC Crazy, that one, See, this one here I got, and I'm sure you guys have all seen them on, Amazon and stuff. They're the Animos or whatever, and there's like this. It's the same servo, but it has a half dozen names on there. Sorry, looking at the wrong camera. But this is the 25 kilogram one of those. It's real low. It's pretty low profile. I'm thinking about using this maybe in the build I'm trying. That we're going to be doing. We're going to give it a try. I originally was going to put it in the Rift. I was going to put it in the Rift, but the servo in there has been working fine, and after I changed out the servo saver, because the original servo saver they sent with that thing just didn't seem right. So whenever I called them about the axle I broke, they sent me a brand new set of the new upgraded axles. I asked him about the servo saver, and he says, well, there might be something wrong with it. They sent me a new one. And I put the new servo saver on there, and the steering is a night and day difference now. So I think the servo saver I got on the car, when I opened it up, there's a little plastic notch that the spring sits into, and the plastic notch itself had a weird mold to it. It didn't look like it was the right width. So it may have just been a bad day. I had the red. Yeah, I've been running those servos in all my 6S. Those same ones, either the 20, 25, kilogram ones in all of them. And, you even turn up the BC voltage a tiny bit. And those things, I haven't had one. The only one I broke, honestly, I think, in any of the 6S cars was the Outcast. And it wasn't even because it broke. It's because when the ESC went bad, it burned it up. But I really hardly have any problem with those servos, amazingly enough. Now, probably after saying this today, I will probably start killing all of them. Wow, these things were really, really low. There was hardly any oil. You know what? Now that I think about it, I don't even know if I checked these after when I first got this Big Rock. I don't even know if I pulled the shocks out of this thing. Because I'm thinking I didn't, because there's no way that these were that low, that much leaked out, because I'd never seen any puddles on my bench over there, or on the shelves. What's up, Armored Big Rock? We are working on the Armored Big Rock. I might, Rocky, one of these days try another good servo and something, or maybe I will get a really good high-speed one for the build we're going to be doing here. Because I guess with all the electronics that I'm planning on putting in this thing, might as well put a good servo in it, I guess. Alright, well, now that the shock's actually properly filled up with oil this time, that's a plus. So I'm going to pull off the other one. I didn't bend the shock rod on it, but I'm going to change out the oil in it because I'm sure it's probably empty like this one is. You go ahead and get the new shock, or get the shock put back together now. It'd be nice not having the shock stick upwards, because right near the end of the run yesterday, it started jamming up there pretty bad. But the Big Rock took a heck of a beating. Thing just impresses me every time I take it out. It's amazing the punishment that this truck will put up with. How's yours been treating you, Armored Big Rock? What's up, Trevor? We were just discussing getting to use my fancy new tool yesterday on your car. All right. Wow, that shock feels so much better. Yeah, I guess I should have checked these things a long time ago. But you know how it goes. You sit there and, get in a rush to go back out and run. And then kind of forget little things like that. You know, I need a stand. Get my new cool little orange stand here. You got one of your kids with you? Is he watching it? He's watching a stream too. I'll try to do a good job. We're trying to rebuild this thing right. Rebuilding it right well, I can't even say the second time because I just plain never did the shocks on it the first time. So Rocky, if you're still in here, I see you got a low C8. Are you getting into the racing scene a little more? I was looking at those. I was really considering getting one. And it still might be in my future, but right now, I want to just see how fast I can get this other car up to now. Definitely not going to be the only focus. I know some people aren't giant fans of speed runs. Some people love them. I'm kind of in between. Like, I enjoy going out and giving a run here and there. But it's definitely not the main focus of the channel by any means. Get this one torn apart. Now, I'm just going to drain the oil out of this one. And, geez, oh man, that clip don't want to come off of it. Okay. It don't want to come off. There we go. Thanks, RC, for all. Glad everything's coming together. Been slowly working on cameras and lighting and microphones and all that good stuff. Even got this, my cool little bucket down here. It lights up. My mom does a lot of arts and crafts stuffs and things like that. And she was making these buckets, mainly for people for camps and campfires and stuff like that, and people to have at their house and their front doors, and putting different logos and things on them. And she made me one. You know, that's pretty cool. I guess I put the shock oil back away. What's up, Phil? Yeah, Earl, you and a very, very small handful of people saw that video because it was not supposed to be released last night. I had to go back on and lock it out because I don't know what happened, but YouTube decided to change my upload features by itself, and it put it live, and it wasn't supposed to. Sorry for anybody that didn't see it, but it's very out of order. But I appreciate it. Yes, the Big Rock was flying amazing. It caught some pretty good height out there. Yeah, this shock shaft is still nice and straight, so I'm going to leave this one alone. But we are going to get new oil in this one and fill it up to the proper level. Yes, you got a very early sneak peek. Because I got to make videos, and I'm sure you guys probably understand, I got to try and get videos made when I'm home. Because of my work schedule and being gone sometimes for a week or two at a time, I have to be able to get videos made, and have them uploaded and ready to go, because if I'm not home for 2 weeks, it's kind of hard to make a video, so I get them made when I'm at home and upload them to YouTube, and then are able to just make them live whenever I want. However, YouTube decided it was going live last night by itself. First time it did it, but all right. That feels pretty good. Wow, it's got oil the whole way through this time. But this is my container of just old shock oil. But it feels pretty good. I think it'll probably jump a lot nicer even with the shocks properly filled. Hey Phil, thanks buddy, I appreciate it, man. You saw the Big Rock too? Was it the actual whole video? How do I like my X-Maxx after a while? Well, is the most hesitant car I bought. And honestly, guys, well, you can't see it because it's hanging on the wall over here now. I was trying to get the big cars up off the wall, but the X-Maxx, I'm still absolutely love that thing. It is a blast. I don't know if Trevor's still in here or not, but me and him were out yesterday at the motocross track whenever I had the Big Rock with me, and he had his Typhon 6S. But anyway, he wanted to drive the X-Maxx because he's thinking about getting one, and he took that thing for a ride, and then I think he fell in love with that thing too. But honestly, yeah, I mean, after the little hinge pin brace debacle with the RPMA arms, once I put the locking hinge pins around that thing, I mean, it has just been an absolute tank. I mean, the thing has been awesome. Yeah, I think... But anyway, sorry. Yes, the X-Maxx has been awesome. I mean, I don't regret buying that thing for a second now. You know, I was honestly afraid that it was going to turn into another Rustler slash ordeal for me. And I mean, I'm not knocking the cars. I just had bad luck with them. I had terrible luck with them. And I was afraid the X-Maxx was going to turn into a similar thing, and it's not by any means. I mean, that thing's awesome. I would buy the thing again over in a second. So, if that means anything, that's how I feel about it. Definitely love the X-Maxx. It's a ton of fun. And I mean, it just beat the snot out of that thing, and it just keeps on going. Yeah, I think that's what happened. Anybody with the notifications turned on got to sneak into the video is what happened. Because even when I made it private or unlisted, it still allowed people with a link to see it. And I think that's what happened, because until I turned it on private, did I finally stop seeing views go on it. So I think that's what happened too, Earl. It's just, I know people were, because it kind of stunk. Even the people that did see it last night kind of knows what was going on. I know not that this is some giant secret, guys, by any means, but knows what's going on with the Typhon 6S now, that's kind of on the kaputs of the speed runs at the moment. Because the ESC looks like it definitely got a problem. Because now the ESC is cutting out and doing a lot of weird stuff. So, but I did call Horizon yesterday and told them what was going on with it. And again, this is the one thing, that I absolutely love about Horizon and Arma versus Traxxas. Love the X-Maxx. However, warranty, there's not even a comparison. I mean, Arma's warranty and them being willing to take care of the bad stuff. I mean, most of the times with Traxxas, you get a bad ESC or a motor. Like, oh yeah, we'll send you a new one for half the cost or a part of it. But like I said, I called the Arma up yesterday. Told them what was going on with the ESC. I sent them a copy of my receipt for, from where I purchased from my local hobby shop. And about 20 minutes later, they answered back, your new ESC is on its way. And that's kind of hard to beat. So that's definitely one giant thing that I love about the Arma stuff. Yeah, unfortunately, Earl, I'm still learning this part slowly but surely, and usually the hard way. I didn't know. I figured if they were unlisted, that it would basically, nobody could see it. However, anybody that has notifications turned on automatically gets the link. So if you had the link, yes, you could still go into it. But I didn't think about that. But hey, somebody got an early view. But this is all we're pretty much going to do with the big rock here. The next thing we're going to work on is the Typhon, which, if you know, that is going back to the dirt and going to have fun with it that way again. Because the Typhon, unfortunately, reluctantly kind of, is retiring as a speed car. Been having a lot of fun with it. However, the electronics and other issues going on, it just doesn't seem like it's going to do it. I mean, I know that if I continued on and changed out the ESC and the motor and put, bigger electronics in it, it could do it easy. I get that. The point of the whole thing was to get it up to 100 mile an hour with everything stock in it, with all the stock electronics and stuff. And, I mean, we hit really, really close. Hit 98 mile an hour. What really stinks is the fact that GPS in there, when I ran it in my truck, it was comparing the speeds and the top speeds. That GPS I have, it was consistently running 2 to 3 mile an hour slow compared to my speedometer. So, this Typhon was probably up there at, 100 mile an hour. However, obviously, I can't prove that, so it's irrelevant. But I think that's going... Well, guys, I just noticed something on the old big rock here. If I'll bring it over the overhead to see if you can see this. So, the front bulkhead right here is split. You can see the crack opening up there. I didn't even notice this yesterday, but I don't know if I have a front bulkhead or not. I'm going to have to take a look here in my parts. I had a lot of bulkheads, but usually it was always the back ones that I broke. Yeah, I know, Earl. That's the thing. It's like, I think, before I start doing speed runs with the new car, I'm going to get one of the new ones. Get the new 20, because I have the 15, the Sky RC GSM 15. And I heard that the GSM 20s are a lot better. In sample, yes, a lot faster. He changed out the Ragnarok out for the Fortress. Nice. Just checking out a couple of your comments here real quick, see if there's anything I missed. Yeah, I know there's many adapters that I've come across. I'm going to take a look down here in my parts bin and see if I have... I have a ton of 3S parts in bits and pieces. I could probably come close to building another car with all of the scraps I have down here. But I'm not sure if I have, because I've been breaking a lot of bulkheads. And somebody else recently, one of my friends, I don't know who it was now, somebody else broke one, and we changed it out, because I had one to get back up and running. But I'm not sure if I actually do have one anymore. I'm not seeing one at the moment. Usually pretty easy and stand out. Really thought I did have one now. So I'm going to take a look on my parts wall here for a second and see if there's one over here. I need to get this parts wall organized at some point so I can actually see everything a little better, because everything's kind of all on top of each other. Nope, I don't see a bulkhead. I guess I'll have to order a bulkhead, a front one. It's not broke the whole way, but obviously that one side is split, so I wonder if the chances of any of those being in stock right now is... We all know how easy parts are to get a hold of right now, right? But the shocks feel good now. Shocks feel much better. She'll jump nice, but it took some nasty hits yesterday, guys. Really nasty hits and some pretty big jumps, so no giant shame in that thing cracking. At least it didn't break the whole way off. You know, I thought about that, you know, trying the spacers, because I was even going to order, because I think the shocks on these, if I'm not mistaken, are 115 millimeters, I think long, or 110. And I was looking at getting I think the 120 millimeter ones were available. I know you could stick a little bit of the nitro tubing on the inside to obviously shorten them down a tiny bit. And I was thinking about trying that also, because I know a lot of people do that with the ZD Racing shocks, because the ZD Racing shocks are always a tiny bit long. So might be an idea also. All right, well, now it's time to unstreet the Typhon 6S. So that's another. Also, I'm gonna have to. I'll look and work on the suspension on this thing, because I know I had lightened up the suspension on it whenever I was taking it to the racetrack, the indoor track during the wintertime there. To get rid of the zip ties off the front shocks, squishing this thing down a little bit. I know, man. Earl, I'm partially disappointed in myself that I'm kind of stopping this at this point. And I hope some of you understand when I say this. You know, I'm in the hobby because it's fun. I enjoy it. I have a good time. And yesterday, for the first time, running this thing, and after all the messing around I had with it, and then having more failures with the ESC going bad and just different stuff, it wasn't fun. It did not seem fun anymore. It seemed like it was turning into a chore or a job. I don't even know if that makes sense. And at that point, I was like, you know what? I have fun with this car in the dirt. So that's where it's going back to, and I'm going to get a proper speed run car and have fun with that, knowing that that's all the thing is for. You know, I can work on it as I want, make improvements to it as I want, and, you know, have speed runs on it. You know, do some speed runs with it when it's ready. So that's why I'm taking this thing back to where it is. Like I said, we hit 98. Frankly, I think it's still pretty good for the Typhon 6S with all the stock electronics on it. I'm still happy with it, and proud of myself for doing that. So we'll work on another speed car and have some more fun with it. What's up, Bobo? Thanks, East Tactics. I really appreciate it. Yeah, RC Crazy. It's like the speed run thing definitely takes a little more thought, I guess you could say, into certain things with trying to get things set up properly, making things just right, and worrying about things. Because obviously, you know, you go crashing these things at 100 plus mile an hour, a lot of things can go wrong. And a lot of money can quickly be destroyed, as many of you know. But I just have a good time with the Typhon in the dirt. It was fun working on this thing, trying to get up to 100 mile an hour. We fell 2 mile an hour short, but it was still a good time. But it's time to take this thing back to where it belongs. And that is, at least for me, the dirt. So that's where it's going to go. And here next week, we will have something that's proper for speed runs. And I definitely want to work on, I'm trying to figure out what electronics I want to get for this new car. Maybe Earl or anybody else out there that been working on any of the speed cars, what would be a good, electronic system to put in there, whether or not it's the Hobby Wing or the Castle, because I definitely want to get it up somewhere above the 110 110 mile an hour range. Somewhere, up around in that area would be kind of cool. So, not looking for anything ridiculous, but, can kind of build on it from there also. Yeah, I appreciate it, Ollie. I had fun doing it too. Until yesterday, it was just kind of just turned into frustration and disappointment, and it was just like, at that point, I just decided, you know what, this thing's going back to the dirt. But if you enjoy the speedrun stuff, like I said, there will definitely be more coming. So I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to the build and getting to put together the car that's coming on Tuesday, because it should be a good time. Definitely looking forward to doing that, because like I said, I've never really done the speed run stuff. This Typhon was the first time really messing around with any kind of speeds, and I had a really good time with it. I really was, but I figured if I'm going to do the speed run thing, might as well do it, the right way. Or at least what I think. Everybody's got their own choice to how they want to do it. I did this, and it was a lot of fun. But I've been watching a few other guys' videos. Been out there watching a couple of Earl's videos last night and today on a couple of his speedrun cars that he's been building or had built, and trying to get some ideas on what I want to do with mine. And got a few ideas. A lot of people are saying about the Castle 1717 setup, but I don't know, if that's truly. Yeah, see, okay, I just was starting to read the the comments here, Earl. Yeah, the Castle. Do you think the 1717 would be a good, the 8S would be a good setup? Oh, she looks good with dirt tires on it again. And I have a set of not too badly burned up Hoons I can keep around for the other speed car. So these tires will not be going to waste. Maybe I'll use those for when I want to just go out and smoke the hell out of the tires and have a little fun with it. I will use those. Front suspension is definitely very soft on this, because I had put, I think, 30 weight in the front of this thing, so I might have to change out the front shock oil, put a little bit heavier stuff in this thing. Yeah, that's... Earl, I'm sure you know what I'm probably... many of you probably know what I'm getting. So, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Something for a car that lays very low to the ground. I need a drink. I'm talking too much. Got a cool mug. Another thing my arts and crafts mother made me. Drinking my Red Bull out of this stuff. This is a bad habit I can't seem to kick, is the Red Bull. And it's not even because of the energy. I've grown accustomed to the taste. I absolutely love the taste of it. I don't know why, but I really like their taste of Red Bull anymore. I'm hoping someday Red Bull, will sponsor me or something, or I could get some free Red Bull, because that would make me quite happy. All right, enough yakking here. I'm going to get the center diff out of this thing. We'll get the motor pulled out of this thing and put some normal gearing back on this thing. I'm excited. By the way, does anybody know, because honestly I can't remember now, and I'm not trying to be one of those lazy people that don't want to look at the manual, but I don't know where my manual's at. What was the stock pinion gear on the Typhon? Was it a 16? Or was it this 18? Because I'm going to put the 50-tooth spur on it, and I have an 18-tooth pinion here that I was going to use. Popping. Yeah, only step up from there is the XLX2. Okay, Schuler. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, I felt comfortable, you know, running this thing at almost 100 mile an hour. It was 98. I don't want to automatically put something in, you know, the speed run car that's going to put me at 130 or 150 mile an hour because I don't have a lot of experience with speed runs. And I don't want to automatically total a brand new car just trying to make it go as fast as it possibly can right off the bat because, like everything, it's good to build up in, you know, baby steps, learn. And it's easier to learn from smaller mistakes than learn from gigantic mistakes. But sometimes mistakes are the greatest teacher, that's for sure. Best way to learn is to not do it right. They make a center brace for the XLX2. Well, get your shell from that guy. Yeah, I'm hoping. He is going to be working on my Creighton paint job here. He had some family stuff, I guess, going on or something, and but he said that I should have my Creighton body shell here hopefully in the next couple weeks, and get that thing because that kind of looking forward to that for sure. Yeah, maybe if I put a Red Bull body on my car, they'll sponsor me, right? Well, here's to retiring the 30-tooth pinion. I'd be lying if I wasn't a tiny bit sad, but at the same time, I'm excited to put this thing back. By the way, did anybody know or answer about pinion? Yeah, that probably wouldn't be a bad idea either, just to lower the throttle points so I'm not going crazy. You know, out there on the runway where I'm running this thing, you know, he'd been running the Typhon here. One thing is great about it is that where it's at, you know, even if I get off course or crash it at all, it's grass all around, which is awesome. So even if I do kind of go off course a little bit, at least it's going off into the grass and not into a curb or something like that. So I am kind of happy and lucky to have that at least. All right, well, I'm going to put the 18-tooth pinion on. Like I said, I don't remember what was in their stock, but I thought it was either a 16 or a 17, but not sure. Get the 42-tooth spur off of this thing now. I'll bring you guys back over here for a minute if you guys want to look at the car, you know. What's everybody else doing today? Anybody else doing anything fun? It has been just a rainy, yucky, kind of chilly mess out all day today. I woke up this morning to just hearing it downpouring on my roof. You run 16 with the truggy wheels. So this is the 18, and I wanted to gear it up a tiny bit. So probably won't be too bad, right? Okay, so 16 was on there tight. I think that the 18, I shouldn't have any issues with it heating up or anything like that. So I'm going to stick with the 18 on here then and give that a try and see how I like it. See if I can get a little more speed on some of the jumps, because I want to take it back down to the BMX track down there where completely launched that thing down there off that one side jump. But it's got to be nice and smooth. It's the only problem. All right. Yeah, I don't think that should, the 18 will be good. It shouldn't heat it up too much. Losing my mind. Can't even remember where I put my tools. The center diff in this thing still has the silicone earplugs. And I'm going to leave it like that, even with this, because I've silicone plugged pretty much all of my center diffs into 6S cars. And I've really always liked it, so I'm just going to continue on with that. Come on, get on there, bearing. Bearing did not want to go back on. But yeah, guys, I'm definitely excited about the new car. It should be fun. And the thing is, with it being the speed car, like, I don't feel like I have to hurry up. Like, I can put it together and work on it and kind of do what I want to do with it, because it's not one of my normal, bashers. So I'm looking forward to putting it together, though. I think I got the screw holes. There we go. It's always fun getting those screw holes lined up on this thing. I think I started limiting my... Well, that doesn't sound very good, Earl. Punctures the ESC. Yeah, that's not really what you're definitely trying to go for. Yeah, I'll be happy if I can just put a system in there that can get me up to, maybe with, I don't know, completely, winding it at 100%, something getting up there, somewhere between 110, 115 would be cool. And then I can always tinker with it from there if I want to, go with a different motor, ESC later on, once I get comfortable with the speed runs, do something else, but... Alright, well, that's what's nice about the silicone. You still got some twist in there. You can still twist these things, but it's just got a lot of resistance. But it doesn't break the teeth. I know some people are very against the silicone earplugs and thinks it's a terrible idea, but... to each their own, right? Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and get the fun part of getting the center diff back in here again. Because this front drive shaft always likes to fight me for some reason. Are you trying to say that you had your ESC punctured by it already? Beautiful. Nice and smooth. I did get all new bearings put in this thing. On one of the other did I do it on a video? I don't know if it was on a video or live stream. Oh, I was working on a video I did. But I did just recently put all new wheel bearings in this thing, even though they weren't that bad. But I put new wheel bearings in this thing, and... Oh, that was when I was working on the Big Rock also. I was putting new bearings on the slipper clutch and all that good stuff. Getting everything nice and smooth. Was hoping, with new... smooth bearings, it would help maybe gain an extra half a mile per hour, but all I had was an ESC take a dump on me. Alright, well, I think I got this pinion mounted up in the right spot. Beautiful. Sounds good. Definitely make mix-8s for the 1650 would be great. Yeah, I was looking at those too last night. The TP motors. I know those things rev like crazy as far as RPMs. Probably not in here, but I know you guys watched CMW Chris Woodward. He's been building a really nice Limitless right now. And I know he's got the TP motors, and he's got the automatic, the rear wing, the rear diffuser on the thing automatically runs on a servo, and a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Thing is looking really nice. Kind of interested to see him take that thing for a run. Well, she feels nice and smooth. Got a very... feels good. Sounds good. We're going to go with that. Yeah, I don't know. If I ever got to the point where I'm going to do the TP motor setup, you would probably kind of start over with just, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of thing. It's like, I don't know if I'm going to regret now if I don't get an ESC big enough to support something like that, or if I should just, work on one build and one thing at a time, maybe. Okay. Thanks for that info, Earl. Yeah, I think I'm just going to get that. I think I'm going to do that castle setup and give that a try. I'm sure I'll drop stuff. I'm sure I'll have fun with it, and it'll be a good starting point, too, to kind of learn and see how comfortable I am and get comfortable with the speed runs. Your rear input gear popped out. Yeah, I definitely noticed that even with this car, with just trying to be smooth and easy taking off and gradually building up the speed. As soon as I tried horsing on it too much, it would start, you'd either start pulling off to one side, which then would start causing you, obviously, to crash. So I definitely learned, the ease of throttle control with getting them up there. Definitely don't want to just rip on it. It's not a dragster. That's why every car and everything has its purpose. Either drag car or speed cars or dirt cars and bashers. And this car is honestly kind of great for a little bit of everything. However, she's going back to the dirt. But I do need to adjust these springs back down because I loosened these springs up pretty soft because I was trying to get everything to sit down as far as I could. So I'm going to adjust these back down to pretty much where I had them. So I'm hoping to head down to the BMX track here maybe over the weekend if it's nice out, if the weather's not too yucky. The 1717 will run easily to 150 with the MMX8. See, I'm planning on running on, 6S or 8S. I have numerous batteries, so that'll be kind of fun to kind of play around with everything. Run it on the 4S and the 6S. I think it'll be a good time. I'm honestly looking really forward to it. I think I got these shocks set. I think I'm going to leave, now I got the springs set back to where I had them. I think I'm going to leave this where it's at the moment, actually. However, my rear wing is a little bit on the loose side. I had this thing tightened down, but evidently it came loose. But, the back don't feel too bad. I don't know, maybe I will change out the oil in the front of this thing. Because these fronts just feel a tiny bit too soft, honestly. No needly to beat the snot out of them. Well, that's not the right socket. I got the M2C shock standoffs on this thing. So I had to put another one of them. Well, I ordered a set of 4 of them to have extras. But after the one crash I did have with this thing on a speed run, I bent one of them. No, the screw don't want to come out of there. Jeez, that thing is stuck in there. Yeah, that should be cool. I'll be interested to see yours running there, Earl. You know, I've watched a lot of your speedrun stuff, and I think hits up and flies. Kind of excited to get mine out there and give it a few runs. The Typhon makes for a good high velocity shovel. Well, you know, it's funny you say that. It might talk about 2 different things, but when I had this thing lowered down, and yesterday when I had this thing out, I didn't get it on camera, unfortunately, but after I did the main speed passes on the runway, I was on the road, and I wound it up and hit about 75, right around there, the GPS said, and I darted off accidentally into the grass, and it literally cut this nice, perfect pass. The grass was probably about, I don't know, 8 inches, 10 inches tall, and it cut this perfect, nice little path right into the grass. I wish I could have videotaped it, because it was kind of funny looking, but I got sidetracked and was irritated. I originally thought that the ESC was cutting out because with the 400 milliamp battery, that maybe the ESC was going into kind of shutdown because it wasn't able to pull enough voltage and amps long enough. So that's why I got a bigger battery. But turns out that wasn't the issue either. That something happened after I put the new gearing on there, and after the last run, that caused that ESC to start doing that. Because now it does it all the time. But only at high speeds. It didn't do it before, but it does it now. But whenever I run this normally, just zipping around like you would be as a basher, it's not doing anything. But, like I said, they're sending me a new ESC, so I'm going to change it out anyway, and I'll just keep this old ESC around for a spare backup. Because I don't want this ESC deciding to finally die when it's 40 feet in the air. It would be a bad time. Fastest lawnmower in the South. That's pretty much it. I'll tell you what, if you could keep it going at that speed, or just maybe mount a giant razor blade on the front of this thing, you could cut some lawns pretty fast. Because she, with even just the dull A-arms on the front, mowed quite a nice path. I think we're going to go a little heavier in the front here. What do I want to do? Do I want to do 70 or 80 in the front of this thing? The Creighton 6S is an awesome basher. I have the EXB. Well, it doesn't look like it because it's got a red shell on it at the moment. But I got the 6S EXB and then the Creighton 6S V4. Both of those things now have been awesome cars. As all of us know, the EXB had its issues with differentials at the beginning, but that's kind of a thing of the past now. But my V4 Creighton up there has been a blast. And I beat the snot out of that thing, and she always runs great. It's always a good time. If I was going to go buy just a car to go run, bash, take to the tracks, take like the motocross tracks, BMX tracks, or anything, probably as far as 1/8 scale and stuff like that, the Creighton and the Typhon 6S would be my first two choices. As far as large scale, obviously, the X-Maxx. However, I cannot complain too much about the Creighton 8S lately. The last two times I've had that car out, it has thoroughly impressed me. I've had terrible luck with that thing in the past, trying to kind of baby it because of breaking stuff here and there. And the last two times I've taken that thing out now, I've whooped on it really hard, and that thing just performed awesome, and I had a blast with it. Had an absolute blast with it. Sorry, Earl. I know that's a sore spot. The EXB. I'm sorry, buddy. I know the EXB is just those words are a sore spot. That's why a lot of people are like, "Oh, are you going to get the new EXB Creighton 8S?" There was not a chance. And you know what? I was going to buy the first run of the Creighton EXB 8S. It's always fun to have the new toy first. However, there's definitely consequences to it. And me and Earl definitely learned the consequences of that with the EXB. However, it's a lot of fun. I can't say the journey to getting them working properly was fun. However, working on them, and learning about the differentials and the new luminance slips and all that stuff. But yeah, no, the Creighton 8S EXB, that thing at this point, I'm going to the Creighton 8S. I'm just going to upgrade things with maybe the EXB parts, or obviously like M2C stuff as stuff breaks on it now. But like I said, man, the last couple times I've taken that thing out, I have beat on that thing and beat on it because I just decided, you know what? I don't care if I break it. If I break it, I break it. I'll replace or upgrade whatever breaks on it. But I want to have fun with it. And that's what I've been doing the last couple times I've taken it out. And I have had far more fun, and I haven't broke it. I was launching that thing down at the motocross track the other day. It was up there, I would say a solid 30 plus feet in the air, dropping down. And it was just taking the landings. Sometimes they weren't even perfect, nice flat landings. They were a little offside. And it held up great and had a blast with that car. It was probably the most fun, the first time I had legitimate fun with the 8S, because I wasn't worried if I break it. It's like, that's what they're there. They're toys, the hobby. That's part of it, is fixing this stuff. Doing this stuff right here is part of the RC hobby, and it's fun. What's up, Heavy Metal RC? I want a little drift. I've been thinking. I've thought about drift cars too. One of my buddies wants to get one too. He's been talking about wanting to get a drift car. I never had one. Don't really know what's a good drift car out there exactly, but they could be fun. About the right level. Yeah, Earl, I think all of us were turning to YouTube like crazy and trying to get some sort of advice or ideas on how to fix the problem that we were all dealing with those EXBs. I can't even count how many times I saw on YouTube, on Arma Forum, and different Facebook sites about, my EXB is making this weird clicking noise. I only ran it for 5 minutes. It's like, yeah, join the club. Sorry. I think I don't know what's going on this year. I don't know if anybody else is encountering this, but the pollen and the allergies this year so far have been terrible. I usually don't have allergies really. However, this year, it's been messing me up a little bit. I had, and I noticed it when I went down to Birmingham, Alabama last week for work. Everything was in full bloom down there. And as soon as I got there, man, my nose and stuff like started itching. My throat was scratchy. And then when I got home here, everything was in full bloom and going really crazy here too. And I think it's just carried on. Earl, I know you're in the dry desert, so I don't know how much you deal with that stuff. All right. Yeah, sure. I know the pollen is ridiculous. It's like I parked my car outside today. I went out to a couple stores, the grocery store, and I came back out, and literally you can see, like you touch your hand across the car, and you can see your fingerprints on there where you've wiped through a layer of pollen and stuff on stuff. It's insane. I mean, everything is very, very green outside right now. I mean, it is in full spring mode for sure. But stuff's been driving me crazy. You picked up a Typhon 6S the other day? Nice, you've been having fun with it yet? Just making mine back to the dirt. Oh, wow, yeah. That front feels much better now. Yeah, it seems pretty equal. The back was slightly... I had a little heavier oil in it already in the back. As you know, the fronts usually tend to slap a little bit more on these. I loosened up the springs just a tiny bit. Now with the heavier shock oil on it. That feels pretty good. That should work nicely. Well, the Typhon 6S is back to its dirt form. I'm excited to take this thing back out now and give this thing a rip. Like I said, I'm hopefully going to take this thing down. I want to head down to the BMX track sometime this weekend or Monday. Usually, the weekends down there, if it's nice out, obviously is a busy place. But Mondays down there usually are pretty dead, so I don't leave till Tuesday, so Monday might be a good day to take this thing back out and give her a rip in the dirt again. Yeah, Trey, these Typhon 6S's, and I said, are just an awesome car. I mean, they are such a versatile car. It's just unreal. You know, they fly, they're fast. You can run them as a speed car, as we've seen. They're a great basher. I mean, they're fast, they're fun. What more can you ask out of an RC car, right? I mean, this is one thing. I have hardly upgraded anything on this car. I changed out the bearings on it, changed out the shock oil, and I put the M2C Racing shock standoffs on it. But besides that, this thing is bone stock, and I have really beat the snot out of this thing down at the the BMX tracks already. And every time it walks away without a scratch on it. Well, chassis got a few scratches, obviously. But the chassis doesn't even look... What is my computer doing? Oh, there it goes. Chassis actually doesn't even look too bad. Most of this wear was just from the indoor racetrack during the wintertime. Whenever we were running up at Big Dog Raceway here locally, most of that wear just came from that clay track inside. One screw did loosen up a little bit. But she holds up pretty good. But... slightly sad, but also excited. The Typhon's back to the dirt. So, definitely we'll have this thing out here very, very soon. Ripping again. So I've been trying to think. I don't even think I have had this car at the motocross track yet, honestly, either. Because I got it. I ran it to BMX track once or twice. And then was running it on the indoor track. And then started running it on speed runs. So it's also time for this thing to hit the motocross track because it hasn't seen that place yet either. And that could definitely be a good time down there with that one jump that I've been trying to... I was trying to set my personal best on it as far as distance-wise. I think we hit 132 feet or 134 feet with the Creighton down there. The Creighton is 6S. And I think we did hit like 130-some feet with this thing also down at the BMX track, though. Yeah. So I'm going to take this thing down to the motocross track, too, and give this thing a rip. Because that could be a really good time also. I think everything's all still in one piece on this thing. These wings always love to split or loosen up. It feels like these back ones are loose or something. Just a tiny bit. All right. Well, she's ready to go again, guys. I'm excited. The Rift, the old axial Rift here, guys, I'll tell you. You know, this thing was giving me headaches at the beginning of this with the front axle breaking on it. And then I broke the bottom rear link here that, I forgot the name of it now. Anyway, broke one of these links on the back for the rear tire, the rear suspension links. But that was because I slammed it into my truck trying to do a speed run with it. But I had this thing out a couple days ago and running it on 3S. And it was an absolute blast. This thing is a ton of fun. Now that I've kind of gotten changed out the things that broke on it easily, I mean, this thing just rips. The things you can do with it, weird little tricks, the way this thing bounces. You know, the new ones they're selling, from what I'm told, have the new upgraded axles in them, so they don't break as easily. They're made out of a new composite, new material, they said. And this one I've slammed into the hillsides and some rocks the other day, and I had no problems with it. Thing's been holding up great. But I think that's all I was trying to work on today. I got the big rock fixed. That thing put back together. And the Creighton 6S is now back to its fun dirt form. So I think that's probably about it today, guys. I'm going to go out and finish running around and do my other things. Checking out some of your comments real quick here, see if there's anything I missed. Probably, I'm sure there's lots of stuff I missed. And I apologize, guys. Sometimes things go by or people ask questions. If anybody had a question, go ahead and ask it now while I'm actually able to look and pay attention to this. Because I know sometimes questions and things fly by and then miss stuff. Wisdom. Yeah. No, I know, sure. It definitely, some of the spots I have to go to, I'm very, very lucky in that form. I have the motocross track to go to. It's been a blast. Do you plan on making your Typhon 4S? You know, it's funny you mentioned that. Because this morning I was up there thinking about, I've been running the Big Rock on 4S. But my Typhon 3S, I never ran this thing on 4S. So I am thinking about throwing the 4S stuff in the Typhon 3S and seeing how I like it. Because, hopefully the drivetrain... I don't remember if I have the steel spur gear in this thing. That's the only thing with, obviously, with the 4S. Like, I had to put the steel spur gear on the Big Rock so that it would deal with the the extra power. So I might, if I were to do that or try to run this Typhon on 4S, I know I'm going to have to change out or just wait till I destroy it and then put the steel spur gear in it. But that would probably be the first thing I'd have to do to it. Yeah, I know, man. It's nice when you got these locations, Wisdom. you have these places around you to be able to go to, because unfortunately there's a lot of guys I talk to, that do not have very good places or safe places to be able to go and run, without getting in trouble or something else. I appreciate that, Wisdom. I just go out and have fun and, do what I just enjoy doing. I've obviously, when I started into this, I was doing the RC stuff when I was a lot younger and littler, and then I kind of got out of it for a while during, the early adulting life, and then recently, had got back into it again, and, a lot of guys I was watching, big inspirations on stuff that I wanted to do, and kind of realizing the capabilities of these cars and what they can do now. It's just a blast. It's a lot of fun, and everybody takes some of it way too seriously, and I see this stuff and it drives me crazy, honestly, on some of the Facebook pages. If you guys belong to any of them, some of these guys on these Facebook pages, it's like somebody asks a question about, an Arma, and it's a Traxxas type page, or a lot of Traxxas, and everybody starts bitching, you need to sell that piece of garbage and buy this. It's like, man, I don't think he came on here to ask you what car he should own. Like, he can own whatever car he wants and just have fun and enjoy the hobby. It's like, everybody needs to stop, trying to act like what they're doing or what they have is the best and just enjoy it themselves. It's like, quit trying to prove yourself to people or anything. I don't know. I don't get it. I just have fun. I got a mixture. I got Armas, I got Traxxas, I got Losis, Axials, mixture of different stuff. Got some boats, got some drones. But I have a lot of fun with the drone also lately, guys. I ain't gonna lie. With just being able to get some fun aerial footage. Another videos you guys see coming up here. No, it's not the next one, but the one after that. Anyway, got some really cool aerial footage of the motocross track down there. And just to kind of give you guys a view of, like, what the place is like. It's a really cool place. So I've been having fun with the drones for sure. Oh yeah, mine has the metal spur gear assembly. Yeah, that was the first thing I destroyed on my Big Rock when I put it on 4S, was, of course, just destroyed the spur gear. So I put the steel spur gear on that. And on my my Sentin, which I don't have anymore, well, I have it, but it's in a box up there in pieces at the moment. There's not really much left. It became a lot of donor parts for other stuff. But I do have the steel spur gear assembly for that. It's the 57-tooth steel spur, I think. So I do have one of those. So that could always go in place of something. Exactly. Whatever puts the biggest smile on your face and whatever makes you enjoy it, and you enjoy out there running every day is all that matters. That's the way I try to look at it. And that's, again, guys, why I went and converted the 6S, the Typhon 6S. I was kind of disappointed in myself, like I said, for kind of quitting when I was 2 mile an hour away from hitting my goal. However, it was not fun anymore. So I was out. Gonna go have some fun with something else. Exactly. Just enjoy the hobby. Enjoy the cars. Don't just enjoy the brand. Everybody gets so stuck on a brand. And it's like, yes, I mean, obviously Arma, as far as my experience with warranty and problems, I've had better luck with Arma. However, there's Traxxas cars out there, the X-Maxx and stuff, that I have a blast with and I love. But you just got to take the good with the bad. Also, Arma has their faults with their shocks and some of the plastic parts that they use on these things, like the differentials and these things, like why they're putting plastic differential in these things when they know what people do to them. At least I think they should be steel or metal, Every manufacturer kind of does their cheap, weird things about them. So, you gotta take them, take the good with the bad, and just have fun with it. So, but I think, oh, guys, so Trevor on here, well, anybody's on here still, and I don't know if this existed anymore, maybe somebody can answer this, but you guys have seen it, probably made a couple videos. Trevor, a buddy of mine, we were just talking about this and came up with a pretty good idea. And honestly, he's kind of the one that mainly brought up the idea of this. He brought this up to me. And we're thinking, what do you think people would think about an app that would show you wherever you're at, be plotted out throughout. I obviously, if we were trying to go to other countries, over in the UK and Canada and stuff, it would be, I don't know how that part would work just yet. But being able to map out, an app that would show you in your area or places you go to where there are good or safe bashing areas. Like map, okay, well, there's BMX tracks here, there's skate parks here, there's a motocross track here, and then like you could click on a BMX track that's near you. You could say, yeah, they don't mind if you run RC cars there, or just kind of have a, run at your own risk type of thing, but would give people plotted locations of things in their towns, or maybe they're, in a certain place for, a week or two. With traveling, like the way I travel a lot with work, it would be awesome, I think. But, I don't know. It could be kind of a fun thing. So, if anybody has anybody knows anybody that's in the app development stuff, we're trying to figure out how to go about something like that. Or if it should be, or about maybe creating some sort of page even. I don't know if maybe a Facebook. I don't know. See, I even hate getting on Facebook because then you're getting to too many of exactly what Earl was just talking about. With Facebook, it becomes insane with people on there. But maybe some sort of page where necessarily people can't comment or talk back and forth, but they could make posts on there, to just be able to say, hey, I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and this area right here, there's all these spots you can go to, something like that. We need to build some sort of page like that. I think it could be really cool to kind of just give people ideas on, where stuff are at. Because I've been talking to a lot of people, and it's like, they're like, well, how do you find these places you're at? It's like, well, I searched, talked to other people, found places, sometimes randomly went on my motorcycles for hours and drove around and came across things in places I could run, the RC cars. But without doing that, you don't know. So I think something like that could be awesome. Yeah, a Discord could work. Think about something like that. It could be kind of cool. I mean, a lot of people got their areas and know where they bash, but a lot of people out there, especially just getting into the hobby, you know what it's like. You run in your backyard for the first day or two, it's fun, but then it's like, all right, well, I want to go find something fun or some sort of jump stuff, and it's like, to be able to kind of be able to find around your area, it could be cool. That might be an idea, Schuler. That could be an idea, because if people get on there and comment, I just don't want it turning into I don't want it turning into anything remotely where people could sit there and start being a-holes to each other. Like, if people can just strictly post and say, this is where this is at, and stuff like that, and kind of give, maybe a directions pin or something like that would be kind of cool. I mean, I know it's going to be kind of hard maybe to make it where people can't comment at all, but I mean, I guess that's just going to be maybe the nature of the beast. Yeah, I'm on a few Facebook pages and links and stuff like that. And, a lot of people have found me on there. And, we've talked and they've asked me where I go to and some of the places. And I told them where I run out the motocross track and some of the BMX tracks. And there's 3 different skate parks. They're kind of near me. There's one that's a lot further away. But anybody's ever asked me, where I go to, I don't care. It's like, as far as especially going to the motocross track, you ask the owner and get permission from him, have fun. Have at it. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, I guess with the Discord you could kind of, you know, be able to kind of limit things down. And the minute if anybody starts being, you know, not so nice on there, you could quickly eliminate that problem. Yeah, Earl, that's another thing that I'm concerned about, is the fact that I know what you mean. You get too many people that don't get permission, don't respect it, don't clean up after themselves. And I don't want also people ruining stuff, you know, for the sake of anybody else, you know, being able to run down there. So it's always kind of a hard thing to tread on, you know, as far as you got to tread lightly with getting masses. But of course, as long as everything's kind of split up and maybe there's only a couple extra people here and there coming to those spots, you know, it might not be too bad. Yeah, I was going to say, as far as what difficulty, yeah, I was going to say most of the stuff I put in mine has either been anywhere between 50 and 70, somewhere in that area I've thrown in the back of mine. Like recently I did the, I think it was the Typhon 3S. And I think I put the 50 in the front and rear in that thing. So it usually works pretty good. On the 6S stuff, I usually been doing like the 100 or 250K, sometimes in the front and rear, and then I stick silicone earplugs in the center diffs of mine, just because I like the way that it feels, you know, as far as the way it handles and stuff. But a little bit of it's kind of upon your preference on control and how you like it. But yeah, maybe I'm going to give this some thought and maybe create some sort of channel, you know, be able to do something like this. I think it could be fun, but at the same time, I guess it could be dangerous with getting people that, you know, don't respect the area, don't respect the places, and don't want it ruining it for everybody. Yeah, that's always a shame. So I like it, but I mean, the motocross track is always, it's gated off all the time anyway. Because, you know, as long as you got permission to go down there, they let me know, you know, I can go through the gate and lock it back up again. Because I talk with the owner and know him a little bit, but the BMX tracks and stuff like that, they're always nice. The only thing about, like, as far as my area goes, Earl, like, you have a lot of that more desert kind of terrain out there and places to run. Around here, as far as, like, areas like that, it doesn't exist because it's all wooded, it's all woods, and not many open areas to, like, bash like that with jumps and stuff kind of built into them. Unfortunately, I got to kind of find places with jumps, which skate parks, BMX tracks, motocross tracks, and stuff like that. So yeah, you probably like that in the front and rear on that. Well, guys, I think I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to go up and I got a little bit of, as I was sitting here on my phone looking at this, getting work notification stuff I got to go do. So, probably going to call it a day now. But I appreciate y'all stopping by and hanging out with me for a little while. Getting some cars worked on and getting the Typhon 6S back up and running, or back to the dirt, should I say. But definitely be some awesome videos coming up, guys, with the Big Rock, as Earl kind of seen, and with the Rift. If you guys aren't even into the Rifts, but just watch the video. You guys, I'm telling you, it's hilarious. The Rift was a blast. But I think it's going to do it, guys. I appreciate y'all stopping in. So, we're going to call it a day, guys. But again, thanks to everybody that stopped by. Thanks for supporting the channel. Appreciate you always. So, until next time, y'all, be safe. Be careful out there. Peace out, everybody.